sweetheart. And please grab your bow, 'cause it's the Jimmy Dean Show.
Howdy! In the cool of the evening, tell 'em I'll be there. In the cool of the evening, you better save a chair. When the parties are getting the glow on, singing fills the air. In the shank of the night, when the doings are right, you can tell 'em I'll be there. Yeah! Grab that pretty girl, hold her tight, and swing her left and swing her right. Now, you gents, you look real bright. We'll introduce our guest tonight, Miss Maureen O'Hara. There she is. Chicken in the bread pan, that's the treat. Now, here's somebody we'd like you to meet. Miss O'Hara's lovely daughter, Bronwyn, FitzSimons. Professor Backward. Now, on the partner, the words get acquainted and reversed. Now, like I said, backwards. Just a little bit stay up, partner. Hey, I have a little hook. See you down, Donna, them, I you talking about. And my old buddy Ralph. There you are. Come, your partner, here's the meat.
Sorry, Jim, I got 4 left feet. Come on, children, let's dance.
We'd like you to accept this as an invitation. Well, come on in. Sit right down and make yourself at home. If I had one wish, I wish I could go back to my old neighborhood where the good folks kind of take you farther on. Now I'd go over to my neighbor's house and I'd knock on the door and they'd all sing out, come on in. Sit right down and make yourself at home. Well, they sing their praises long and loud, 'cause they're all my folks, and I'm mighty proud of that little old town back home where I was born. Well, I wish that I could hear them say in that good old-fashioned kind of way, come on in, sit right down and make yourself at home. Yeah! They all know they're doing right, and the good Lord kinda has them for his own. Yeah, I wish that I could hear them say in that good old-fashioned kind of way, come on in, sit right down and make yourself at home. Come on in, sit right down and make yourself at home. Yeah! man, that's not the easiest thing in the world. You notice dancing there on the beginning and all, and then singing. You get kind of out of... It was really nothing, and I never meant anything more seriously in my life. I'll tell you what, I worked on that thing this week. It didn't look like it. But the girl dancing with me is Mary Jane Foster. She's one of the choreographers, and Jimmy Hutch. And Mary Jane's a marvelous dancer. However, this week she's known as Old Sore-Toe Foster the biggest part of the week, because I've stomped all over her feet. Reminds me of a story, and I don't know where I heard it. Somebody didn't send it in, but I heard it somewhere about this very wealthy couple that never had any kids of their own. And they kind of took a liking to this one old country boy. What are they moving back there? Anyhow, this wealthy couple took a liking to this one old country boy, and they decided to educate him and make a gentleman out of him and do something nice for him. So they sent him off to school for a couple of years, and one of these prim and proper type schools. And he comes back, and they decide that they should have a coming out party for him, so he could meet the richest, the most influential, and the smartest people in town. Well, they have the party and a beautiful dinner, and everybody's there. And after the dinner, they start dancing. And this old boy just kind of standing over by the wall watching the goings-on. And finally, the little old woman walked over and said, "Look, you got to get out there and dance. Dance with some of them girls. Now, there's one right over there. Now, her daddy is the richest man in this town. Now, you go dance with her and say nice things to her." Old boy said, "All right." He goes out and grabs her, and they're dancing. They passed the old lady, and she said, "You're not talking to her. Say something nice to her." He said, "All right." You know what? I believe you sweat less than any fat lady I ever danced with. We have some delightful guests with us this evening. My, you're a laughing bunch tonight. Thank you. Jolly group. We have the very glamorous Maureen O'Hara, her lovely daughter, Bronwyn FitzSimons. I pronounced that right. I'll miss it later, but I pronounced it right then. Of course, our old hound dog buddy will be on a little later. And that brings us up to a very funny gentleman. I know him as Jim Edmundson. Most of you know him as Professor Backward. Here he is.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, I have 6 children, by the way. Well, not by the way. And I'm telling you, a man with 6 children is better off than any man with $6 million. Because, believe me, a man with 6 kids don't want any more. 6 kids. Last week, my wife said, "We may hear the pat of little feet around the house again." I said, "It better be mice." And I love children. I used to go to school with them. And did you know that I was 8 years old before I found out my name wasn't Shut Up? I said, "Mommy, what's my name?" "Shut Up." And it was rough when I was a little baby. We didn't have no talcum powder in those days. My mother used to sprinkle me with baking powder. Put me out in the sun, I'd break out little cookies. I never failed to add a little sports card. Last week, my wife said, "Buy me a foreign car, get me a foreign car." I bought her a rickshaw. She said, "Who's pulling this thing?" I said, "Your mother. She's been horsing around with me for years." And I love my mother-in-law. For Christmas, I bought an antique chair, but my wife won't let me plug it in. And today I bought a little sports car, little bitty thing, made a left-hand turn, stuck my hand out, turned over. I've got to take my watch off. And today I took my wife riding my little car. She said, "What's this wall we've been passing for 20 minutes?" I said, "What wall? That's the curb." And my mother-in-law, she said, "I ain't riding that little old car with you." I said, "You ain't been asked." You gonna drive me to my grave. I said, now you're being asked. And we took out those sports car races and we drove down to Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever been to Texas? Well, I was down there, and I want to tell you that down in Texas, you can go the farthest and see nothing and have more sunshine and less shade and more rivers with less water, more cows that give less milk, more school teachers.
Wait a cotton-picking, cat-haired, dadgum minute.
You are bending the gown.
You can talk about your mother-in-law and sports cars, and I'm your friend, but when you start talking about Texas, dear buddy, you are treading on thin ice.
Jim, do you remember before the show you told me down in Texas they got some of the world's greatest golfers?
The very best. Yeah.
Well, they ought to play golf. They've lived in a sand trap all their life.
I might hit. If you applaud, I'll throw something at you.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever heard them brag down there?
Now, not everybody brags down there.
Now, Jimmy, they brag. This Texan, ladies and gentlemen, went to Niagara Falls on his honeymoon. They said, you ain't got nothing like this down in Texas. He said, we got plumbers down there that can fix it. I'm telling you, Jim, they brag.
No, not all of them. Now, come on.
Jim, out in West Texas. Way out West Texas. Other side of Chicago. This Texan came up to me, Jimmy. He said, you know I fly my own plane?
Yeah?
I said, a lot of people fly their own planes. He said, and their own home? Jimmy, but they got money.
Not all of them.
Who ain't got money from that?
Not this one, buddy. I'm telling you.
They've got money. This Texan, ladies and gentlemen, bought 20 oil wells, wrote out his own personal check for him. They went down to Dallas Bank. The cashier looked it up. He said, insufficient funds. They said, what? Cashier said, not him, the bank.
All right. Enough said about Texas. Here's something that I don't know a Texan or anybody else that can do. This man writes backwards. It's a rough language, friend. He writes backwards, talks backwards, and Lord knows what else. I'll get you blackboard for you.
Thank you, Jimmy. Ladies and gentlemen, there's 250,000 words in our English language.
I like to got you, buddy.
There's 250,000 words in our English language, Jimmy. 250,000. That's 200. That's a lot of words.
You bet your life. That's a lot of words.
And tonight, I want these lovely people, the studio's packed, and I want them to call some words. And I'll try to spell them backwards, pronounce them backwards, put them on the board backwards, but no proper names now. Friends, take Jimmy Dean. Jimmy's Y-M-M-I-J, that'd be Yummage. And Nayad is Dean. Yummage, Nayad. So let's get a word to start off. Say that again. This act's over.
What was the word? I said, what? Anti-what? Anti-disestablishment what?
The anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Oh, I know
That's
what that
28 letters. Back to the MSI-NERATNEMHSIL-BATSESIDITNA. You pronounce it backward worse than there. Rats in them hills, still bat you. Rat, R-A-T, rat. Nem hill, N-E-M, nem. Hussil, H-S-I-L, Hussil. Bat, B-A-T, bat. Gotta call my wife. See? It. Just a minute, Jim.
You got enough board left?
Anti-disestablishment, right, Yummage?
How in the heck do I know whether it's right or not? I don't know.
Well, it's a long word. Another word.
Constantinople.
Constantinople. 14 letters. Tourist. That's E-L-P-O-N-I-T-N-A-T-S-N-O-C. You pronounce it back with L. Ponit, nats, knock. That's L-E-L-L, pon, P-O-N, pon, it, it, nats, N-A-T-S, nats, knock, N-O-C, knock.
I'll find out after you leave. You're talking dirty, buddy. What is that?
Constantinople, you ever
Yeah. We have to, now I wish we could go on because this guy does some of the most fantastic things, but we got to have a little word from our sponsor right about now. Is that
Yummage, you don't.
Jimmy.
Yummage backwards is Jim.
All right.
Yummage, you don't say sponsor, you say Rosnops. And that is a...
You say raw snops. I want to keep them.
But this is a commercial. You know, this is a commercial called Laic Remark. And we have a Rosnop. So, ladies and gentlemen, right now, you're going to hear a Laic Remark from our wonderful Rosnops.
I certainly hope so. We have one of the loveliest ladies that I have ever seen in my life. In addition to being a lovely and talented motion picture star, she's a marvelous, nice, warm person. It's an honor and a privilege to have her on our show, the very lovely Maureen O'Hara.
Thank you.
Boy, I'll tell you. You deserve it. Go ahead. I'll wait. Beautiful. Just beautiful, Miss O'Hara.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy. But listen, to you, it's Maureen.
See there, Ma, you didn't want me to be in show business, right? Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, Jimmy, I know just exactly how she must have felt, because my mother felt exactly the same way, and here am I now, a mama, and I'm watching my daughter very, very nervously make her start in show business.
Yeah, but you're all for it, right? I mean, you approve.
Well, yes and no. You know, there is something to be said for marrying a good, solid citizen, like well, if she's real lucky, a dentist or a lawyer, and she could settle down in Scarsdale.
Now, don't believe a word of that, because I happen to know that she just busts her buttons with pride for the fact that this girl has already made a movie. She's done some fine things, dramatic roles in TV. So I'll tell you what, Mama, why don't you and I just kind of come over here and sit down and enjoy the work of your lovely daughter who is at that magic teenage thing, and she's a lovely and talented person, Miss Bronwyn. You want to say it?
FitzSimons.
It's spelled like wait, before we go on, did you folks in the audience notice Mama over there like this, wringing the hands, and you were just lovely and wonderful?
Well, I think so, too.
Do you?
Thank you, but, Jimmy, Mama's kind of prejudiced, and I just could never compare to her.
Oh, nonsense, Bronwyn. With your voice, mine sounds like a foghorn.
Jimmy, do me a favor. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful?
Yeah.
Oh, Bronwyn. What? All you've got to do is just look at yourself in the mirror and see those marvelous eyes that you have, and look at that perfect profile.
But, Mother, your figure's like a 20-year-old.
Well, just a minute, you're still a teenager. When do you grow up? And I wish I just had your personality.
Mother,
The best thing to do in a case like this is just keep your mouth shut, I think. Girls. Girls.
What? Huh?
You're on.
Oh.
We belong to a mutual admiration society, my mother and me. We belong to a mutual admiration society.
I say that she's the cutest one.
I say, no, you're the cutest one.
She claims that I'm a natural wit. I say it's just the opposite.
The only fighting that we do is just to love who more than who, and that's the way we dance the time of day. My dog and me, we belong to a mutual admiration society. Now I do not exaggerate, I think she's nothing short of great.
I say that kind of flattery will get you anything from me.
The way we carry on is tends to just embarrass all our friends, and that is how we still be years from now. My mother and me, we belong to a mutual admiration society.
My father and me.
My mother and me.
Oh, goodness gracious. You're on the right foot. Can I say something in all sincerity? I don't know of any time that we ever had a nicer visit from two nicer people. You're just the nicest kind of folks, and we love you. Really. A little later on, we'll do the country segment on the show, and we're going to do a whole lot of Irish things, and we'd like you to come back and join us. all
Oh,
right?
sure, Jimmy, just love to.
All right, good.
Bronwyn, you were so cute, and I was just...
You were much of it.
We've got a guy with us now, been on every week, just about. Since the show first started, he's had a very unfortunate accident every week. But this week, we've got him in the middle of the studio, and we certainly wish him the very best of luck, Mr. Ron Mark. 2 years that whistled down the line. I reckon that it's engine number 49. She's the only one that can sound that way on the accent beacon and Santa. Here she comes. Gonna build a mountain from a little hill. Gonna build a mountain, at least I hope I will. Gonna build a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how to do it. I only know I'm gonna try. I'm gonna build me a daydream from a little hope. I'm gonna push that daydream up the mountain slope. Gonna build me a daydream, gonna see it through. Gonna build a mountain and a daydream, gonna make them both come true. Gonna build me a heaven from a little hell. Gonna build me a heaven and I know darn well if I build a mountain with a lot of care, I'll take my daydream up a mountain and heaven will be waiting there. When I build my heaven, as I will someday, and the Lord sends Gabriel to take me away, want a fine young son to take my place, I'll leave my son in my heaven on earth with the Lord should pray. Gonna build me a mountain from a little hill. Gonna build me a mountain, at least I hope I will, with a fine young son to take my place. I'll leave my son in my heaven on earth with the Lord should pray. With a fine young son to take my place, I'll leave my son in the heaven on earth with the Lord good
Jimmy's not around yet. Then I can write a letter to my secret love. Dear Lassie, I watch you every week on my 2-inch television screen.
Oh, buddy. Who you writing to?
Nothing. Just a note to my milkman.
Can I join you?
No, you'll have to write your own milkman. Please leave 6 pints of yogurt and a pound of pot cheese.
Now, wait, hold it a second, Ralph. You're writing to the milkman on pink perfume paper with purple ink?
This milkman used to be a ballet dancer.
Well, come on, wait, now come here. Come here, Ralph. It's me. Tell me the truth, who you writing to?
Promise you won't laugh.
Promise.
Lassie. You laugh! If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a laugh promise breaker.
Well, listen, I'm sorry. I apologize, and I shouldn't have laughed. Now, you go ahead and write your letter, okay, and I won't bother you.
Well, do you mind finding something else to do? Because this is just a bit personal.
I won't peek. I won't peek, Ralph.
Okay.
All right.
Lassie, darling, you would make me the proudest dog in the world if you would send me an autographed photo of yourself. It would look wonderful between my pictures of Herbert Hoover and Y.A. Tittle.
Ralph, Tittle spelled with 2 T's.
You peak. You're a peak promise breaker, too.
All right, now, Ralph, I swear, I won't do it again. I will not do it again.
Well, you might as well hear the rest of it now. I love you, Lassie. Love you, love you, love you. Signed, Ralph.
Ralph, I don't understand this. Now, whatever happened to that great big Saint Bernard?
Oh, her. Well, that great big Saint Bernard sat on me. It was my first crush. No, I only love Lassie. She's my love.
Did you ever meet her? Did you ever meet her?
No, but that's what you can all make possible. See, if you would just invite Lassie to be a guest star on your show right here, huh?
Lassie, a guest star?
Why not? Why are your guest stars always people?
Now, wait a minute. What's wrong with people?
Well, nothing, except they make terrible pets. Why don't you invite Lassie to be on the show, huh?
Well, I guess it's a wild possibility.
P.S. I just spoke to Jimmy, and it looks pretty good. Signed, your agent, Ralph.
Now, hold on. Come here. Come here. Wait a minute. Ralph. Come here. I got to think about that, buddy.
Oh, please, Jimmy. Because it'll be the only chance that I'll ever have to meet her in person. You know? Oh, I can just see it all now. You'll introduce her, and the curtain will slowly rise, and left will come slinking down a staircase, while the orchestra will be playing "Oh, Pretty Dog is Like a Melody." Just imagine me, a mutt from the Lower East Side, on the same stage with a glamorous Hollywood colleague.
Well, wait a minute now. Control. All right, already. Come here. Look, I'll tell you what I will do. I'll just see what I can do about it. All right?
Oh, thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. Well, you know, you'll never regret this, Jimmy Dean, because every animal in America will be watching you. There'll be dogs and cats. There'll be horses and pigs and tigers and giraffes and guppies. There'll be mules.
Well, wait a minute. Mules? What kind of an audience are we going to have?
Well, mostly there'll be folks like you.
Uh-huh.
But there'll be lots of animals, too.
Oh?
There'll be fierce and wild ones.
I see.
Gentle and mild ones. Let me describe one now for you.
Oh, please do.
A mule is an animal, long funny ears. He kicks up at anything he hears. His back is brawny and his brain is weak. He's just plain stupid with a stubborn streak.
But by the way, he's a televiewing fool. You may grow up to be a mule.
How would you like to swing on a star? Carry moonbeams home in a jar, and be better off than you are? Or would you rather be a fish, and all the monkeys aren't in a zoo? Yeah, confess, I've won quite a few. Oh, you see, it's all up to you. You could be better than you are. You could be swinging on a star.
Ending there, Ralph, and again. We'll be back with more of the show right after this message.
Let's sing a song of the South. Let's sing a song of the West. Let's gather round and everybody sing the songs we all love best.
As I walked out in the streets of Laredo, as I walked out in Laredo one day, I spied a young cowboy all wrapped in white linen, wrapped in white linen as cold as the clay. I see by your outfit that you are a cowboy. These words he did say as I slowly walked by. Come sit here beside me, and hear my sad story. I'm shot in the chest and I know I must die.
It was once in the saddle I used to go dashing. Once in the saddle I used to go gay.
It was first down to roses and then to the card room, for I'm a young cowboy and life is just play. You know, I always thought that The Streets of Laredo, this song, was just an old Western song that was well loved by the rodeo cowboys, and I like it very much. But Maureen O'Hara told us that it was an old Irish folk song, and we looked it up, and lo and behold, she's right. It is an old Irish folk song. But I think to me and some good buddies of mine, the rodeo cowboys, it'll always be the Streets of Laredo. Get 16 gamblers to carry my coffin, 6 pretty maidens to sing me a song. Take me to the valley and put the sod over me, for I'm a young cowboy and know I've done wrong.
Here's an old Irish lullaby that's been sung in our family to all of the babies for generations and generations.
There was an old woman rolled up in a blanket, 99 times as high as the sky. And where she was going, she couldn't right tell. What was under her arm, she carried a spell. Old woman, old woman, old woman, said I, where are you going? You're going so high. Sure, I'm going to sweep the stars from the sky, and I will be with you, love, by and by.
Bill, Bob, Bruce, you ready? I'll take you home again, Kathleen, across the ocean wild and wide, to where your heart has ever been. Since first you were my bonnie bride, the roses all have left your cheek. I've watched them fade away, and quit crawling around down there, Chuck. Your voice is sad whenever you speak. Hope somebody runs over you. And to be dim your loving arms, so I'll take Seems like only yesterday I left the Isle of Cork. An immigrant from Erin's Isle, I landed in New York. There wasn't a soul to greet me there, a stranger on the shore. But Irish luck was with me and the riches came below. Now he's going back again to dear old Erin's Isle. My friends will meet me on the pier and greet me with a smile. The faces sure I've almost forgot, I've been so long away. But me mother will introduce them all, and this to me she'll say, hey, and their uncle Mikey boy, and here's your sister Kate. And there's the girl I used to swing down by the garden gate. There, all of your neighbors, and kiss the colleagues all. Get as welcome as the flowers make the dear old Donegal.
Flanagan, Milligan, Gilligan, Duffy, McCuffy, Malacky, Mahone.
Rafferty, Lafferty, Donald, O'Connell, Dooley, O'Hooley, Madoney, Malone.
Mulligan, Galligan, Halligan, Halligan, help.
Hogarty, okay, let me hit him again. All right.
Shake hands with your Uncle Mikey boy, and here is your sister Kate. And there's the girl you used to swing down by the garden gate.
Shake hands with all your neighbors and kiss the colleagues all. You're as welcome as the flowers in May.
To dear old Donegal.
We'll be back in just a moment. When you're a long, long way from home, it makes you feel like you're alone. It's hard to find a pal that's true, that you can tell your troubles to. And when you send a letter home, your mother's voice rings in your ear, and then you cross your T's with kisses. What a strange world this is. And you dot your eyes with tears. You miss a love you've always known. When you're a long, long way from home, you miss a love you've always known. When you're a long, long way from I would like to have more time to talk about our friendship tree. We're running a little bit short. We want to thank you for all the Christmas cards that you've sent in with the Christmas seals all over them. Keep them coming. You know there are 1,000 of them going to 1,000 different children's wards on hospitals all over the country. And never has so little done so much for so many people. Don't forget to send your Christmas cards to the Jimmy Dean Show, Box 46, New York, 36, New York. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much for being with us. We appreciate you tolerating our ignorance. This has been one of them giggling days, and it wasn't a dadgum thing we can do about it. We've had a ball. We hope that you've had the same, and will join us next week when our guests will be Don Adams, the McGuire sisters, the Jubilee Four, my old hound dog buddy Ralph. And until next week, good luck to you. God bless you, everybody at your house. And bless your heart. Friend, once in a while, it's good for you. Thank you, and a good night.
Hairstyles by Ernie Adler. This is Del Sharbutt speaking.